Opening day of pike season in the Upper Peninsula, we had a couple incidental catches. Look at this perch. Look at the size of that. We caught this while we were fishing for northern pike, and here we have them from the live well. All of them about this size, a couple pounds, but we have a limit of pike that was caught by none other than Bob Garner.
Hey, it felt good, too. It felt great.
Randy DeZarmo here from Northland Taxidermy up at Sault Ste. Marie took us pike fishing, where at long last we got a limit. We're going to take you out with us out into the St. Mary's River, so you stay tuned. I'm Fred Trost. It's Thursday night, time for Michigan Outdoors.
From the rugged shore and woodlands of the north, its history of copper mines and iron ore, the Great Lakes fisheries. To the farmlands of the southern counties we'll look around again, at all that waits the sportsman in the state of Michigan. And sometimes when the moon brings out the diamonds in the snow, and the stillness of the forest lies encased in Arctic cold, the wind might whisper through the trees, listen if you can, it tells you of the beauty in this state of Michigan.
On May 15th, we backed our brand new 16-foot fishing machine down the launching ramp on the Charlotte River, a tributary to the St. Mary's River just south of Sault Ste. Marie. It was a foggy morning, a quiet morning, a good time to test some new waters and a new boat. A 16-foot aluminum fishing boat with a 30-horsepower engine gets us into 90% of the fishing we do in Michigan. A little exhaust from this new motor's first gulps of gas, but 2 minutes later, we were underway. It was purring like a cat. Randy DeZarmo was our guide. He owns Northland Taxidermy. He's fished the St. Mary's River all his life. Bob Garner was our fashion consultant in his new hat. And we skimmed over the water towards Randy's first choice fishing hole, but another boat was already there. Randy said they got the best spot. So we tied up some old pier pilings nearby, and it wasn't long before Randy's minnow attracted the first fish of the morning. This turned out to be a jumbo perch.
The big perch. Look at him. See him there?
Yeah. Randy, the first master angler perch of the season for Randy, right?
Is that a dandy?
Holy.
At this time of year, Randy said we'd pull pike and jumbo perch from the same holes using minnows and number 2 hooks without wire leaders.
There you go. Look at that. I wonder how long that sucker is.
Well, don't get confused. Bob's talking about that perch. At 14 inches, it is a big sucker, though.
Jeez, oh, Pete.
Well,
for some reason, only the big perch are caught at this time of year from these holes. They're in here spawning, and the little ones stay away. Well, we try out the brand new live well on the fishing machine. It's a good way to keep fish fresh all day. They'll taste better. Of course, that's our main goal. And to make room for the bigger pike we plan to catch, I take out the partition. And now I'm going to show you how I cast for the camera. One of my first casts of the year. God. After a few choice words, I had to get out my pocket knife and slice away at one of my all-time best backlashes when a fish grabbed a minnow on my other rod.
Oh, yes. I got one here. Oh, not a bad one. Oh, might be a pike.
You got your drag?
Huh?
Yeah, the drag should be set low enough.
Yeah, the drag is set low enough.
It's a perch.
It's a perch? Boy, I tell you, it's a fighting one. Oh, it's a pike. It's a pike. Oh, there he runs.
Nice pike. Nice pike.
Yeah, there's no wire leader. Woo. No wire leader, so we'll see if I got him in the corner of the mouth. Yeah, I got him in the corner of the mouth. So I'm like, woo. He's still got a little spunk left in him. There we go.
We only caught one pike and one perch from this hole, while the boat in the better spot loaded up.
Holy moly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Well, you have to be at the right spot at the right time, and since they were in both, we set out to find another spot all to ourselves.
A good fight.
Nice enough pike.
We caught pike during the day on both small minnows on small hooks, no wire leaders, and casting with spinner baits and daredevils.
Whoa, whoa. Good one.
All the pike we caught were in the same league, all weighing a few pounds, well over the legal size, well, a few inches over the legal size, and scrappy.
Nice fight. All right. Another one for the live well.
Way to go. Yeah, clear it so the...
Sometimes pike can taste a little weedy. That's when they live in weedy lakes, but this river, I tell you, the fish taste excellent. Maybe that's what spurred Bob Garner on.
There he comes.
I'm gonna get the
Not bad one.
get the next somebody here.
Well, these are all consistent size, aren't they? Let's just reach down, Bob, and grab him by the... Okay. Good work. I was wondering, I couldn't see
Bob
you.
was on his way to a limit catch. Now, this was the only pike he caught before lunch, and we think the scent he picked up on his hands during lunch made the difference. I'll tell you what he had in a moment. But before we took our lunch break, Randy landed another huge perch.
Oh, Randy.
Oh,
What'd that tell you?
What'd that tell you?
That's great.
That's got to go 2
Oh,
pounds.
that's a 2-pounder there.
Get down or do something, you block your
Okay,
head.
yeah, let's get the fish up here.
Oh, Randy, this is great.
Look at
the
size of this.
Let's see, Randy.
Well, then we took our lunch break, and Bob Garner made a quick comeback with 4 more pike.
It's half the size of the one that was chasing him.
That's it, though. That's my limit.
Now, Bob didn't wash his hands after lunch, and his last snack was an entire box of Fig Newtons. My theory, Sault Ste. Marie pike go for Fig Newton scent, an opening day discovery by our own Bob Garner. Here's where we were fishing, the St. Mary's River. You saw the pike that we were catching. Terrific. Some of the big perch. And it should pop any time now. That'll be good because you can catch a big one and get in our trophy book. This is what we were after opening day, and who knows how close we came. This 43-inch northern was lurking in the weeds in Portage River up in Houghton County when it decided to chase the Rapala that Robert French from Lansing was casting. He caught that 20-pounder just after lunch on June 1st last year. And Jim Doctor from Holland shows us what the opening week of bass season can produce. Last year, he caught 2 bass on May 28th on a crankbait, a little 5.5-pounder on the right, and a 6-pound, 2-ounce Master Angler qualifier on the left. That was Hess Lake, Newaygo County, 8 a.m. Here's a trophy white bass, 15¼ inches, 1 3/4 pounds, taken on a MEP spinner by Dave Defford from Saginaw. He caught it 2 weeks ago in the Tittabawassee River. And a real trophy for a white sucker, this one weighed in at 4.5 pounds, a full 2 feet long. It made the day for Tim Wieserkowski from Alpena. He was fishing Bell Bay in Presque Isle County on April 26th. He was using wigglers, which tells me he was probably fishing for trout, but this white sucker put him in the trophy book. There's only one fish in Michigan with coloration like this, the mottled yellows and browns, a barbel on the chin. It's a burbot, often called a lawyer fish. Now, don't ask me why. If anybody knows, write to me. I'd kind of be interested. Anyway, this burbot weighs 12 pounds, 13 ounces. It's 38 inches long. It took a smelt off the mouth of the Au Sable fished by Tim Sawyers from Wurtsmith Air Force Base. Now, using a smelt, I think he was undoubtedly fishing for brown trout, probably looking for one like this one that was cruising close to shore, feeding on smelt and alewives on the west side of the state. Pat Mitchell from Walker caught this early this month, still fishing in alewife in Lake Michigan off Ottawa County. It was 4:15 a.m. when it hit, 38 inches long. It weighed 28 pounds, 4 ounces, a real trophy. That puts Pat as a top contender for the big fish of the week, but I decided to give the title to this one. It's a huge trophy for a southern Michigan trout stream. This brook trout was caught on May 15th. It hit a Panther Martin spinner fished by Pat Keston from Davison. 17 inches long, weighed 2.5 pounds. I'm not going to reveal the stream, but it's in Genesee County. You catch one like this in southern Michigan, and you're liable to join Pat Keston as our Michigan Outdoors Trophy Angler of the Week. Next week, Bob, we're going to do a show on live bait. because we're not real sure what the conditions are. The following week, June 5th, is when we'll do that show on the bass opener.
Yeah, and if we've got cold front conditions, I think we better be using live bait. It's a sure bet.
We might take an extra day on that. But you know, we have a letter here from somebody who wonders about access, where to fish. We got a good response last week when we showed fishing off the pier at Ludington. And Gloria Warren from Dearborn Heights says, for those of us who can't afford a boat or pay a rental fee, could you let us know where to fish from piers, shorelines, bridges, dams, or anywhere without a boat?
There's really no list that anybody knows of that can conclusively provide that. I don't know what to tell her.
Well, you have to search those out, but as a part of our Outdoors Forever program, our handicapper program, we're going to have a meeting June 27th, the first day of the outdoor fair, at 1 o'clock up at Houghton Lake at the high school, and we'll be talking about this problem, and we'll be trying to get a directory together of things like that.
Got another letter here from Jack Schley of Troy, Michigan, and he writes, and he says to gather his night crawlers, all he uses is a couple of screwdrivers with 120 leads, electrical leads into them, puts them in the ground, and shocks them out.
And he wonders why we don't do more of that on the show.
And he'd like to know, does it harm the crawlers?
Does it harm the crawlers? Well, that isn't the problem. The problem is it can harm you. There have been people reported killed from gathering worms this way. There are devices out. In fact, I picked this up at the outdoor fair a couple years ago, Bob. It's an electric prod which you can put down in the soil and plug into 110 current. It says it's absolutely safe as long as you don't touch anything except the handle. The problem is the worms are oftentimes deeper than this. And Ray Edwards, in his night crawler manual, we're trying to get Ray to come to the outdoor fair, he says the best thing to use is a flashlight. He tells all about, how to catch crawlers and keep them and store them. We have an article in the Digest about this. And hopefully we'll have Ray at the outdoor fair. That's something we're going to be talking about in just one moment. But first, let's see if you can answer this question in our outdoor quiz.
What is the record distance for shooting an arrow with a handheld bow? Alan Webster of England shot an arrow 3,694.8 feet, nearly 3/4 of a mile, at the National Flight Shooting Competition held at Ivanpah Dry Lake, California in 1983.
What is this crowd waiting for? Why, the dunking of Bob Garner. Once again this year at the outdoor fair, you'll be able to see Bob Garner, Kathy Beitler, and myself take our turns in the dunk tank. You dunk us with an accurately placed arrow.
Dave Super Salmon, Fred. Dave Demeyers from St. Clair Shores. He knows what he's doing on this.
He sure does. He said serve up this salmon that has tomato and onion on top with a little side dish of wild rice.
He's made it before.
Oh, he has. This is really, really tasty, don't you think, Bob?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're eating. When was the last time you had salmon with wild rice? I don't believe I've ever had that combination.
No, not that combination.
I don't think so either, and it doesn't hurt. It's okay.
It doesn't. It certainly is. Well, Kathy, this is actually quite a simple recipe to prepare.
It is. I was surprised.
But it really was simple. Not very many ingredients either. We got some onion, sliced tomato, white wine, and lemon pepper. It all goes in a buttered casserole dish. Not greased, butter. It does make a difference.
And of course you want to cut that brown meat off.
Yes.
It's worth it, to tell people
flesh.
this every time, because people who eat salmon, if they say it's strong, it's oftentimes because they leave that on there.
Exactly. Got lemon pepper, which is dehydrated lemon, and you see and white pepper. You got black and white pepper in it. That's what gives it a little bit of white flax.
Oh, lemon pepper is tasty on fish.
It really complements it very nice. I'll sprinkle both sides of the fillets liberally. It will mellow out quite a bit in this recipe. Put in your buttered casserole dish. Just kind of lay them in there. Looks like we could have used a little bit bigger casserole dish. Some onion rings. You do want to separate them into rings. You don't want it on one spot. And tomato slices, lay them on top.
I'm really getting to be a big fan of fresh tomato rather than
they make a big
cooked
difference.
tomato or tomato paste.
Big, big difference.
And some globs of butter.
Dot it with butter pats, right. Okay, you want a cup of your white wine.
And the wine does not come out real strong in this.
No, it really mellows out in this. The tomato and onion really mellow it out quite nicely. And that lemon, you're going to put fresh lemon on this rather than lemon juice out of a bottle. Just squeeze it on. Don't need a whole lot either.
No, there's actually quite a bit of lemon in there with the lemon pepper and the fresh lemon, butter, onions, and tomato.
Going to put it at 350 degrees. You want to preheat your oven because you don't want the dish just sitting in there not baking for 20 to 25 minutes.
That's all there is to it?
Yep, and you do want to cover it because you don't want it to dry out. And that's it. Just as simple as Dave says.
After 20, 25 minutes in the oven at 350, this is it. And you know, I'm amazed at how simple this is. It really doesn't have spices in it.
No, the tomatoes really spice it up a lot.
It doesn't have sour cream. It doesn't, just the butter.
And a little bit of lemon pepper.
Bob?
Yeah, you certainly, nothing is overpowering the fish in this. The fish does dominate the entire taste. But the wild rice, that's a pleasant sight. Hey, the other thing, Freddie, is there more of this stuff in stock around here? Or?
We have a little bit more. That tomato is a good flavor on the top.
It is, yep.
And you know what? It's not at all like tomato sauce or tomato paste.
No, it doesn't cook down that much at all.
Garden type.
That's right.
Garden type
That's
flavor.
right.
Dave DeMars from St. Clair Shores, you have a winner here. This is a great recipe.
I thought
Great
so.
recipe, Dave's Super Salmon. And possibly you could catch some salmon this weekend. They're along the shores in the Great Lakes. It's a good time to get out there. It's a great time to be outdoors.
Oh, absolutely.
So I hope you can get outdoors this weekend. It's a great place to be. We'll see you right here next week.
Next week on Michigan Outdoors, we look at fishing with live bait plus all of our regular features.
There's motion in the ice chest. How about this? There's Bob Garner's limit of pike, still twitching. Here, Randy, let's dump them out here. This is finally, after several opening days, Bob, on May 15th, of fishing different places around Michigan, we finally found it in the Upper Peninsula. Randy, you did it!
Thanks.
Congratulations. Got a limit of pike for Bob Garner. I got, I think, one of these, and you got two.
Yep.
Isn't that
But
something?
I got this guy right here.
You did. You got this perch. Outstanding. To 2 pounds. We think it's a master angler qualifier. Are there any small perch in the St. Mary's River?
Yeah, but not where we fish. Where we fish, there's just the big ones.
Just the jumbos. Are they there all summer?
No, they just come in to spawn out of the lake and capture.